Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the Geek, but I am Penge, and welcome to Atmocity, or possibly Atmocity, or maybe even Atmocity. I'm not really sure how to pronounce the name of the game, but I think it's a combination of two words. It's a portmanteau, if you want to get all fancy pants about it. But it's a combination of the words atmosphere and city. So Atmocity would sort of make sense if we apply those rules. So let's stick with that, shall we? So welcome to Atmocity. What is this game all about? It's a futuristic city builder game, but with a big difference. Because normally, in a city builder game, we are confined and restricted by the rules of gravity. And generally, we are going to build on one plane. We build on the ground. And when you build a building on the ground, it starts at the bottom and it goes up into the sky. That's the rules. That's how the ground works. But Atmocity goes, no, we don't want that. We don't want all our buildings to be starting at the ground and pointing up into the sky. So they're all pointing in the same direction. Because Atmocity takes place up in the atmosphere in a kind of weird anti-gravity bubble type thingy. So there's no up or down, because anti-gravity means there is no top or bottom. There's no sort of rules restricting you to how the building should be constructed. So we can have our buildings sort of bending round corners and pointing at 90 degrees to other buildings. We can have buildings kind of above other buildings, sort of pointing down across the roofs of them. It's very, very exciting. It's a very good concept. I really like the idea of it. And I thought it was worth taking a little look at. This version that we're looking at here of the game is a sort of pre-early access beta type version. And we all know the drill with that. We have to bear in mind that this is not the finished product. It's not what the game is going to look like. There might be bits missing and bugs and all that kind of stuff. The plan is for this game to go into early access at the end of April, I believe. So it's going to go on Steam into early access. So yes, I'll put a link to the Steam store page in the video description if you want to wishlist it and all that kind of stuff. But we got our hands on this a bit early thanks to a key from the developer. So thank you very much, developer person. That is very, very kind of you. So as you can see on the right, we have not got the campaign, because this is not the finished version of the game yet, but we can do the free roaming mode. So I think let's just show off Atmocity by going into free roam mode and having a look at what I'm jibber-jabbering on about. So the first thing we have to do is pick a starting layout, and they range from the very, very most basic that it could be up to some crazy advanced stuff. So I mean, this is really basic. This is one sort of concrete foundation block that we have to build upon. That's really minimal. And then you come down here to this sort of crazy hypercube type construction, which just looks crazy. So I think we're going to go for this one. It looks like sort of safe middle ground. There's 3 platforms with little sort of interconnecting bits. I think we'll go for that because it looks like a sort of nice safe middle ground starting point. And there we go. So that is the platform upon which we're going to build our futuristic sky city. And as you can see, it's just not being held up by anything. It's quite merrily floating away up there in the big blue sky, in the lovely big blue sky. And if we zoom further out, away from that, further up into the big blue sky, there we go. We can see this sort of bubble thing here, which I'm going to assume is an anti-gravity bubble. Now, the campaign mode isn't done, as we saw earlier, and even if it is done, I don't know if it explains why we're building cities in anti-gravity bubbles up in the sky. I've got no idea why, but let's just take it as read that that's how cities are done now, and everybody is doing it. So we're just joining in on the city building action. Let's just go for that, shall we? So what's on the screen? We've got electricity and water meters up here. These 3 things here, the little sort of cogs with the hats on, represent the 3 tiers of jobs and the sort of employment rates for those particular types of jobs. So the tooltips for these are a little bit wibbly at the moment. So this one here is for low-skilled jobs with the hard hat on. This one here with the blue hat on is for medium-skilled jobs, not low-skilled, as that tooltip says. And this one here with the sort of university graduation hat thing, what's that called? Mortarboard. It's a mortarboard hat. With that on is high-skilled jobs. And then we've got things across here for health, pollution, education, crime, and then I like this one. I like other safety. I just think it's wonderfully vague. I don't really know what that means. I'm not entirely sure what other safety constitutes. Does that mean that, you know, it's checking that people are putting their seatbelts on or something? I'm not entirely sure. And then we've got 750,000 credits down here. Those little gold things are credits. And then a whole host of building options. So I think let's just start building our city. Now, of course, you might be thinking, well, yeah, you can just build on there. But no, these surfaces can be built on anywhere you like. So you can build on this side. We could build on these sideways, as we would see it, platform bits here. We could build on the side. And if I can do this right, now you might have to accept some shoddy camera work going on, but we could also build under here. we can build wherever we like on here. We're not confined by one plane, and it's very, very exciting. Now, yes, the camera is quite, I'm going to say it's hard to control. It's not really hard to control. There's an awful lot of camera controls in. It's my shoddy camera work. It's just me. It's just my poor application of the controls. So yes, apologies. I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. So I think what we're going to do is we need to get ourselves some stuff in to do with housing. We need people to move in. We need people to move in, and then we can start creating other things. And let's go to here, because this is where we get people moving in. So this is residential buildings, and there are 5 tiers of residential buildings, starting off at cheap, going up to expensive. The cheaper ones will attract the lower skilled workers, and the higher sort of cost residential buildings will attract the higher skilled workers. However, the lower skilled workers are pretty much happy with their lot. They don't ask for much. They're very happy to have a roof over their heads and a yellow sort of builder's hat. They're delighted with that. These guys up here, as you move up here, the sort of these guys here with the fancy hats on, they want more from life. They need more things. So they want extra food and resources, and they want to be near to parks and all that kind of stuff. So I think for now, let's start with just some fairly basic residential lots. Let's see if we can get ourselves some of the low-skilled workers in and just go from there. So what I'm thinking is, let's have our housing and stuff in the middle, and then let's have kind of production-y stuff over here, because the people here, like with any other city game, do not like being put next to big sort of churning, smoking industry things. So yeah, down here there are industry buildings, so we've got, like, you know, concrete plants and stuff. And even though it's the future, they still need to have, you know, big stacks and stuff coming out of them and smoke and whatever that causes pollution. So we don't really want everything to be all sort of squished into one space. We want stuff to be broken apart a little bit and sort of spread further away. So I think if we have this middle bit as our residential and commercial area, which will look very nice, and then we can have sort of industrial sort of polluty things over the sides there. Of course, we could just start building some more stuff, because you can just here add more foundation blocks. So these are just foundation blocks. So if you can see that there, we could just sort of pad that out with a load more foundation blocks and go, yay, right, there's even more just there. Gives you more space to build on, which is fine. But right now we don't need to do that. So let's get some housing down, shall we? So we need to get ourselves roads. So we can put a road in, and we can get a road. I think what we'll do is we'll get roads like that going around the edge, like so, and to just there. And then we'll fill this up with nice housing. We'll just fill that up with housing. So to start with, let's get some of the lower lower skilled housing, if you like, in. So this here, the cheaper housing. So we'll drop that in just there, that in just there. Let's get a few of those. So let's get 4 of those in, and then let's put in 2 of these middle tier ones, just to get some of the sort of middle skilled workers in as well. So there we go. And as you can see, the amount of little, whatever they are, sort of container things indicate the level of housing you've built. So these are the 1 sort of star housing, if you like. I don't know what that is. It's a little C. Does it mean credits or something? I don't know. So these are the 1-star housing, and they're the 3-star housing, and we haven't got any 5-star housing just yet. But of course, we need more than this, because that's nice. Got some spots for houses, but then houses need these things, because currently we have no power and no water. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to flip things over. We're going to go over here, and underneath here, on the other side of our housing bit that we're going to have power and water built under here. I like that idea. The only thing is, they're going to need to be connected by a road. So if we can hoik the camera up a bit, what we can do is we can finally show off what this game's all about. These roads can just come down here, which it's just brilliant. That's brilliant. I love that. The roads just bend round, and the cars, little cars do appear, little sort of hovering cars, will just merrily go around those corners. And it's great. I like that a lot. So let's just come back round here. So we now need to get the roads going down this side. So we can bring them all the way down there. We'll do the same on this side as well. We'll do the same on this side, because most of the buildings are 2x2. And that gives, that means they fit in quite nicely into that sort of arrangement. Now, what we do want to do as well, hang on, we do also, camera work. Yes, apologies for the camera work. It's all me. It's all my fault. Bring that down there and that down there, because now that connects with the road that we just built. So yes, we've got like a little sort of road grid system in already, which is great. And now we need to put some power down. So we need some power and some water. So we can go to just here. So we can, over here, have some lovely clean electricity. We can have a wind farm or a solar farm. which is lovely. But as you can see, they take up some resources. So it takes 11,825 credits to build one of those. Plus, I can't put my mouse over it because it obviously takes it away. But you can see further to the right of there, there's some other things. So it takes no wood, 10 concrete, 60 glass, 25 steel, and 35 kind of processors, like electronic sort of stuff. So I think we start with a very, very healthy supply of those. In this particular version of the game, we start with a lovely supply of those. We don't need to worry. So I think, well, let's get one of each. Let's get a wind farm and a solar farm. Let's get both of those in. Let's put them on other sides. So we'll have a wind farm just in that corner just there, which is nice. And then let's put a solar farm up in the other corner. So let's put that up there and that up there. Now, just before I place this, actually, let's try and zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out and then go upwards if we can do that. So the solar farm, we're putting that there. You will notice there is a bubble. There is a sphere around this. And things do have these sort of spheres of influence in the game, because obviously it's not just two-dimensional anymore. Things have to have a sort of a round bubble around them to show their sort of area of effect. Now, when these are in, it's not like anything in that particular bubble will be powered and anything out of it is not powered. The power is sort of a cumulative thing. There is a power grid. But if I then started putting residential buildings on the same side of these, next door to these, those residential buildings might be a little, they might get a little bit grumpy about that. They might get a little bit huffy about it. Start going, hey, I don't want to live next door to a wind farm. It's loud and noisy. I don't like it. So anything on the same plane as this, in this bubble, will get, they'll start complaining. However, we're okay because all our residential buildings are on the other side, which is useful. So let's put that down. So now we've got a source of power, or two sources of power. So I think now let's get ourselves a couple of sources of water as well. The alternative power, by the way, is this thing here, a carbon power plant. It's cheap, but it's polluty. So it'll bring your environment quality down. I don't really want to do that. Now, I think because we're in sort of early, not even early access, pre-early access, we've got so many resources, it doesn't make much difference. But I guess in the sort of the actual full version of the game, you're going to have to start building the carbon power plants and then work your way up to getting the nice sort of clean electricity stuff. So this is how we get water. These things here called absorbents, they collect moisture from the atmosphere, which is then used in the city's water production. What's that thing there? A carbon storage facility. They improve the environment in your city. Oh, that might be a fun thing to have. I might put one of those as well. A genetically modified moss that absorbs carbon dioxide. Sounds lovely. Let's get a few of these things in. Let's get a few absorbents in. So we'll put one just there. And I think, do you know what? Let's just put one right next to it. Now, you can adjust what they sort of the angle of which they are. You adjust the position of things when it's down, which is a bit weird. So we might want that to look a bit different. So we could just do that, look, and just rotate it like so. So it looks slightly different. I don't know why you do it when it's placed. I don't know why you don't do it when you're placing it. But never mind, it doesn't really matter. So we've got those in. I'm going to put one of these in. A carbon storage facility. I just want to put one in. There we go, look, some lovely genetically modified moss. Oh, and it is. Oh, the graphics on it are really nice, but the attention to detail, there's lots of lovely little things. And when you get near, you do get that sort of nice macro mode sort of view. It looks very lovely. So if we try and go, oh, that's a bit extreme close up. If we go there, I imagine that is sort of big trays of the moss. And then it goes over here as well, and they do some. Oh no, that's the power plant, isn't it? But yes, that's the big trays of moss that we're using to soak up pollution. That's nice. That's a lovely thing. So we've got those in. So now, if we flip this over again, if we try and go back upwards, so let's go through the floor. There we go. Oh, camera work. I'll get the hang of it at some point, I'm sure. Right, there we go. So if we zoom back down, we can see that nobody's moved in because we're not moving time forward. However, we might also want to create some commercial buildings. Because over here, in exactly the same vein as residential buildings are commercial buildings, I think let's just put a couple of the tier 1 commercial buildings in across the end there. Or should we put them there? Actually, yeah, let's put them on this bit. There's a convenient gap there, look. So we'll have a tier 1 commercial building and a tier 1 commercial building. And they generate different things. So this is what it looks like when you actually click on a sort of unit. So let's move time on. Let's just get time moving and see what happens. So hopefully people will move in. However, you will notice the lovely little cars. And they're like little, look, the cars just drive round the edges. It's brilliant. There you go, look, whee! Just off the side, but they stick. Because, the concrete blocks have some sort of magic gravity in them combined with the anti-gravity bubble. And if they want, the cars can just sort of fly about and rejoin road junctions, a bit like that one is there. So they're not necessarily constrained by the road. They can sort of fly about like these ones are, which is, I do like that. It's very good. Aha, I think someone has bought one of our things. There we go. So when people buy things, it's bought by conglomerates. So big corporate organisations are buying our buildings. And occasionally you do get sort of, I have played this a little bit. I've played it a little bit to get used to it. And they do buy them off each other. They do buy the stuff off each other. So this one here, this residential building, has been purchased by Netmax Company with the CEO of Preston Greggs. And it's generating some stuff. So currently that building is generating a number of population, and that is 11 medium skilled labourers. So, you know, the population there, I know the population is 45 and there's only 12 workers coming out of it, but it might be that they're children or elderly or whatever. So who knows? They're not going to work. So also it's producing 26 credits, which is nice because we're losing them quite a lot because we've got a lot of stuff on the other side there with our sort of lovely clean power stuff. That's a bit expensive. But this building here is only running at 28% efficiency, which is not brilliant. Become more efficient, because these guys here are missing cereal, which is something we can sort out. They're missing consumer goods, which is something we can sort out. And they are missing legumes, which I do like the word legumes. You don't hear the word legumes enough. So that's because these guys are the middle tier guys. These are the medium skilled guys. They want more. If we go down here to look at the lower skilled guys, if we go to here, they don't want for too much more. They want wheat, and that's it. They want cereal. They want their breakfast. That's it. That's all they want extra. So this building here is performing better, I think. That's on 39% efficiency. Oh, no, they're both on the same efficiency. They're both on the same efficiency, but this is producing way more people. So we now need to go through and say, okay, now we need to connect cereal to this particular place, and we also want to get ourselves some consumer goods into play as well. So I think let's go over to that side. Let's go over to here. Oh, the city needs a warehouse. Yes, of course. Right, I'll put a warehouse in as well. So yeah, you get a message saying the city needs a warehouse to store excess goods. So we start with some goods, I think. Is that what we've got? Yes, we start with quite a lot of things, but we've got nowhere to put extra things. So currently, like here, we're making consumer services, which is what those sort of commercial buildings are producing. But yeah, we can't really do anything with them, I don't think. So we need a little warehouse just to store some stuff. So yeah, we can put the warehouse in there. That'll be absolutely fine. It fits quite nicely into that gap. So bosh, there we go. A warehouse. That message should then clear off. Hopefully, all being well, it'll go away at some point, I'm sure. There we go. It's gone away. They've opened the doors to the warehouse. Oh, by the way, it's got a lovely day-night cycle. As you can see now, look, just beautiful nighttime. I don't know where we are. We're just sort of floating about. And then the sun rising, look, the sun coming up and the clouds doing their thing. It's very, very pretty. You can, however, if you don't like the day-night cycle, you could turn it off. You can go, all right, I want day all the time. Mwahaha, behold my power. Or you can have nighttime all the time. Behold my power once more. But no, let's have the day-night cycle. I like that. It makes it feel a little bit more sort of more organic and real and all that kind of stuff. So what we need now is we need to make these people happy. So let's start with wheat, because they're all going to be wanting cereal. Look, they all want that. So I think, yeah, let's go over here and we'll create some nice farms and stuff over there. Now, you might think that people wouldn't mind living next door to a farm, but they seem to object. They don't like living next door to farms because they're not like farms that we would normally see. They're not like an ordinary farm, because obviously we're up in anti-gravity land in the sky. So the farms are sort of like industrial units. And these lot in their houses don't like living next to industrial units. So when we put this down, if we put that just there, go, yeah, it's a cereal farm, everyone's happy. People are not going to be happy if they're in the bubble of that cereal farm. Now, that did not show the bubble very well just then. Let's try and get that better. There. So if we did that, all the buildings that don't like being next to one of these sort of production buildings are going to get grumpy, all the ones that are in that bubble. So we need to put this over here and make sure that it's not near anything. So I think that is about as near as we can get, because we might put some buildings here. So we need to make sure that the bubble does not touch those. So I think that is about as near as we can get. So let's make ourselves, so what's that? We can fit 1, 2, hang on, where does that go? That's 1, that's 2, is that 2? How wide is one of these? Right, hang on, let's do a little bit of experimentation, because I don't want to do myself out of space. Although I can just build extra bits, actually, can't I? Do you know what? It doesn't really matter. Let's just get a wheat thing in. Let's put it there. So we'll drop that in, go, yay, right, wheat. So this is going to require a number of workers. So it's going to require 25 workers, which I believe it has. Otherwise it'll come up down here and say it's missing people. And it's producing currently nothing. That should ping back up. Oh, no. It's missing low-skilled labour. So we don't have enough low-skilled labour. Okay, yeah, we can sort that out. Let's go back up to here. and put a couple more of those residential lots in that are low-skilled labour. And we'll just see if we can get this low-skilled labour up. Now, that little white sort of slider thing there, this little indicator, is telling us exactly how good we're doing. So if the white sort of thing is down here, it means there are not enough of that type of job in the city. So we've not got enough low-skilled workers. If it's at this end, it means you've got too many low-skilled workers and a lot of them are unemployed. That is going the right way. It's edging toward the middle. And this thing here, 75% efficiency, producing 180 wheat. And these guys will then be happy. There you go. They're not missing anything. And then hopefully at some point their efficiency will go up and we need to put some parks and nice pretty things down, all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, that is going quite nicely. And it looks lovely. It looks great. Little sort of futuristic housing and all that kind of stuff. So these guys are still complaining. They're still missing consumer goods and legumes. What I am going to do is, just to make people jolly, I'm going to put a park down. I'm going to put a park in this gap here, actually. Let's put a park down. Where are they? Parks. So there's parks and plazas. I don't really know what the difference is. Let's put a park down. That's got a round thing on it. Let's put a park with a round thing. And again, it's got a bubble. It's got a sort of sphere of influence. I can't zoom out when I've got something selected because it twists the thing round. But yeah, it's got a sort of sphere of influence. So let's put it there and go bump. There we go. And now the plus means it's made them happy. They are now happier. It's made them all jolly and delighted. And then that means their efficiency should go up. The happier the people are, the more efficient they are, the more output you get and everything. It's all very, very good. So that's okay for now. So these guys now are missing consumer goods and legumes. Okay. Over this side then, let's go for more sort of heavy industry over there. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll have that road running through again all the way to the end. Like so, and then over here, let's get ourselves, it's in that one and this one. So there we go. So we've got industrial lots. There's only 3 tiers of these, but again, I imagine the higher ones are going to create sort of jobs for the higher skilled folks. So we need a few of these lower skilled ones, and it does have its bubble. It's got a bubble. We do not want to put it just there because that's going to make those people grumpy who live and work there. So I think we can safely put that. Ooh, I don't know how finicky it is. It's just touching the edge. I think let's put that there and there. And then those, if people move in, will start generating some consumer goods and that'll make them happy. Which ones is it? Those guys. So that'll start generating consumer goods. And then we can sort out the legumes problem by putting down a legume farm because there's one of those as well. There's all sorts of farms. So let's put one of those opposite the wheat farm because why wouldn't you? There we go. That'll do. So now legumes should start sort of picking up eventually. Now, again, we might be down to possibly a lack of workers. We might be suffering from a lack of workers. So yes, we need to get some sort of more workers in. Now I have put the housing down. There's space for it. They've just not been bought up by the sort of conglomerates yet. And also that's not kicked into life either, has it? So what I'd like is, I'd like those 4 things to be full. I really want them to start generating some stuff. Come on, industrial lot, somebody move in. And hurrah, someone has finally moved in. So this industrial building here is now operational. 75% efficiency. It is still missing the lower skilled workers, so a few of them. So it's got enough to sort of open, but it's not got enough to actually run properly. So it's generating a little bit of money, which is quite nice. We need that because we're losing 3,000 at the moment, which is not good. Actually, let's pause time for a second because we're losing quite a lot of money. That's not good, is it? But this is generating 35 consumer goods and a little tiny bit of pollution there, which it's not ideal, but we can sort that out. Our pollution rating is actually very good. So I'm not too bothered about that. So right now we've got that producing some nice consumer goods. And one of these buildings has, in fact, a couple of them have leveled up. So when they kind of level up, they get taller. So more people are moving in. So now in here, there's 267 people in this residential building. And this one here, 312. Oh my goodness me, but it's still shorter. I don't know whether they all live in that one, but whatever the case. So yeah, look, this is generating 81 people. That's generating 94 low-skilled workers. So it's all very, very good. Now, what we could do is, where is it? If I can find where it is, budget. There's a budget thing. You can do taxing. You can tax people. So I think maybe the property tax rate, let's just put that up to, can we have any less than 1.3? No, that's 1.9. That's more. 0.9%. Let's up the tax rate a tiny bit just to offset our crippling losses at the moment. And then let's just tax everybody a the tiniest bit more. No, that's down. That's the other way. 20.5%. I wouldn't mind that. They can pay a bit more and the rich guys can pay, well, maybe not that much. 23 would be ideal. Something like that. That's 27. That's a bit more. The only thing is that tooltip gets in the way, so I can't see what it is until I've done it. There you go, 23.3%. Okay, right, come out of that. Thank you. And that little notification there just tells us that, yes, Preston Greggs of the Netmax company owns all of the things so far. Right, okie dokie. So now what do we want to do? So come out of that. I think we need to get more of these in. We need way more residential buildings and commercial buildings and all that kind of stuff. We need more of this to get more money. So what we could do is we could just go, all right, well, let's build over here. But I think let's do something a bit different. Let's do something a little bit different. Instead of building just this way, why don't we build at a 90-degree angle to what we've got? Why don't we build up this way and then across the top and then back down and make a kind of box? Because that sounds fun. I don't know if we need to build a box, but I think it sounds like a fun thing to do. So what we need to do first is we will demolish. Oh, now I need to demolish those road sections. I'm not entirely sure how to demolish those road sections without demolishing the entire block. Oh dear, yeah, that could be bad. That could be bad. Right, hang on. If we just go to build on the thing, does it let us? No. Right, if I go to demolish and put it there. Hang on. Right, let's do an experiment. I don't want to knock that stuff down. Let's go to building blocks. So let's go to road and then come this way and then put the road there and then down that side. Now, how do we demolish this? Do I just click on the sort of outside? Do I do that? Do I go boom? Right, I just make sure it's over the road section. Right, okay, right. I'm sure this won't go wrong in any way, shape or form. Oh, I'm going to knock down some houses. Right, blow up a road, blow up a road. Okay, no, that's fine. Blow up a road and blow up a road. And then we get the building blocks, put the blocks in. So we'll have to fit these across here like this. So we can go like so. So that's built an extra bit onto there. And now what we can do is we're going to build upwards. Well, as we would perceive it upwards, because that is where I am with the camera. So we can build like that. And there you go. Look, it's created a wall, which if I could get the camera right, it would be really useful. There you go. Now what we're going to do is, instead of like just building a normal, it's not a normal wall because that's a surface we can now build on. So let's just top this up even more. Let's just keep building up and up and up. If I can get this to, camera work. It's not my strongest suit. So yeah, let's build this up quite a lot. So like so, and like, oh no, not like so. Get rid of that block. Bye-bye block. There we go. Right, so that's in the right way. And that means now, if we do that, that is enough space for us to build a thing. So we can put the road coming up there, and we could build a unit just there. We could build another housing unit or whatever. But I think let's go more. Let's do more. Let's have more of this stuff. So I'm going to build a whole new bit across here and a whole new bit across the other side. And then I'm going to connect them. I'm going to connect with a great big sort of bit across the top, which I do like the idea of. I just like the idea of having this sort of crazy angle stuff. So that is now enough for 2 lots of stuff. That's enough for 2 buildings. So if we wanted to, we could put, we could go, yay, one of those, another one of those just there. So how about we add another block on the top. I know, but we could put the road on the inside of that bit at the bottom, and that would still count as it being next to a road. Oh, it's very clever. So now we need to put another block on across the top of these, and then that can then go across to the other side, and we can make our sort of, I was going to call it a roof. It's not really a roof. It's just another surface to build on. I don't really know what the terminology is for any of this stuff, but let me go and finish building this thing. So behold, the box. Look at that. And I can build on all these surfaces. It's just brilliant. I love this. So let's get building. I've put the roads in. So this is enough space for more residential properties, which is brilliant. That is exactly what we need. So we'll get a couple more of the lower class ones like that. Lower sort of skilled stuff. And then we'll get maybe a couple of the medium sort of skilled stuff up there. And then I think we'll do exactly the same on that side. I think we just mimic exactly what we've done. So we'll have that there, and that there, and then the middle sort of tier one just there and there. Beautiful. And we have to keep an eye on power and water, because when all this moves in... Oh, look, that just got promoted a little bit. That's just elevated itself up, so that'll be generating some more monies and generating more output and all that kind of stuff. We are losing quite a lot of money. However, that is tumbling down. Look at that. Oh, and it went back up again. Right, they are happy and also sad. Right, what is wrong with you? This building likes being in the vicinity, dislikes being in the vicinity of production facilities. Okay. Whereabouts are the production facilities that you're sad about? Is it these ones? Okay. I'm surprised that you're bothered about those because they're quite some way off. They're quite some distance away. Oh my goodness me, lots of people have moved into there. Yeah, they're complaining about production facilities as well. So that means that their efficiency is never going to be as high as it could be. Yeah, I don't know kind of what the rules are about this. Now, I think maybe it's because they are on a sort of a plane like that. Maybe we need to move these things over to here and then have this as also residential stuff. Maybe that's what we need to do because these are production facilities. This is producing power, obviously. So it is a production facility. Yeah, I don't fully know what's going on with that, but there we go. Never mind. They can just sit there and be churn away some stuff for now. It's fine. That's taken out very well. Look at that. That's worked fantastically, and it's brought us deficit down by quite a lot. That's a good thing. That's very encouraging. I like that. So what else can we do? So we've also got some of these things in. We've got plenty of the actual residential buildings. Maybe we do need a few more of these in. Some industrial lots, because they will make us some nice monies as well. So let's go over here. Has anyone even taken up the other industrial lot yet? No. No, that's a bit of a shame. Nobody's moved in. Let's put a middling one in. So we'll put one of them just there and another one just there. Maybe someone will move into those ones. That's fine. And let's take a look at some other things we can build. So there's all these bits and bobs over here, which are for producing our own resources. So we start with this great big pool of resources. Where was it? There. So we start with a massive load of concrete and a massive load of steel and a massive load of glass. Now I've spent quite a lot of the concrete on building that big sort of cube bit, the big box bit. So we went from 5,000, we're now down to 1,944. So I think having a look at how concrete is going to work will be a good thing. So let's have a look down here. If we come out of that way with you, let's find the concrete manufacturing plant. Concrete is the main building material across your city. So it's going to cost 11,211 to actually get into play, which is quite expensive. I'll give it its due. That's quite costly. It's going to cost 25 concrete to actually complete itself, but we do need one, I think. In sort of terms of long-term longevity of the place, I think we need one of those. Now, ironically, we need to spend some more concrete. We need to build a few more of these blocks across the end to get enough sort of space on the ground to actually build ourselves the thing in the first place. Right, hang on, come down a bit. And there, get us a road. Put that across there like so, and down, why not? Right. So, concrete. Let's put that in. This is going to have its own set of demands and things. That is going to be polluty. Now, I don't know if they're going to complain. I imagine these industrial buildings can't complain about being near to something that's polluty, because that would be silly. That would be a silly thing, because they're obviously polluty as well. So, no one's complaining. That's all good. So that thing now is providing 4 concrete at the moment, but it is causing quite a lot of pollution. However, it is missing some low-skilled labour. We really don't have enough low-skilled labour. Oh my goodness me, we need to build some more. And it is missing sand. Now, where do we get sand from? I'm not entirely sure where we get sand from in this. I don't know. Maybe we need to build something like this. Atmospheric particle filtration plant. Our pollution levels are very good. I think what we now need to do is, before we run out of money entirely, I don't quite know whether, in this particular version, I don't know whether running out of money is going to go, end game, you're bankrupt, get off. Or whether our city comes crashing down to the ground or what. I don't know. Is there a ground somewhere? I don't know. Or if it just lets us carry on. I'm not entirely sure. I think it might be a good idea to try and get something like a hospital in to help with this here, and let's get something to do with the education, and let's try and get some police stuff in, because crime is bad. So let's try and sort out our issues, and maybe that will make people happier, and then people might move in. We have some space up here. Oh, crikey, there! Hurrah! So up here, we have some room to build some things. We've got space for 8 things up there. So why don't we start building some stuff which might attract in more low-skilled workers? Maybe they'll, think, actually, it's not a bad place to live, that. So education is terrible. Let's maybe sort that out. There's 2 types of schools, I believe. There's a grammar school, which is your first school, and then your high school, which is where you go to do your more learning. So let's put that there. Why not? Actually, hang on. Is there a bubble? Is there a bubble for that? Does that reach the other side, or do we need to put them in the middle somewhere? Pick that. Put that there. Oh, yeah, it doesn't reach the other side. Yeah, we could do it with those being in the middle, I rather suspect. Okay, fine. We can do that. We can drag that up. So let's put down then. So Oh, crikey. How are we going to work this out? How are we going to make sure that we don't use the space incorrectly? Okay. Well, we need a clinic. We need clinics. We could put a history museum. We could put a library, actually. Libraries improve the education levels of the city. Wealthier citizens require that libraries are built nearby. Well, let's pop a library in, like that. That's a good idea. And then I think then we can put our, whatever that is, whatever that first school is. What is it? A grammar school. Let's put that just there. They look kind of similar. Looks a bit like the Iron Man's sort of power unit thingamabob. Chess power unit thing. And then let's put the high school opposite. Like so. Okay, so that's looking good. Now, that's jumped up because now we have requirement for some higher educated citizens. We need some high-skilled folks in. Because, yeah, this needs people... Oh, hang on a minute. No, that's not quite right. That's not entirely correct. I am fibbing a bit there. That bar has moved into the middle. I thought that did require that. But we've got a clinic. Have we got a clinic? No. Maybe we should put one of those in. Let's get ourselves a clinic. And let's fit the clinic into, if I can make it happen, into that gap there. And go, bump. There's a clinic here. There's lots of round things. The future is very round. Except the big square blocks that we build on. Everything else is quite nice and round. Okay, so the thing about these buildings is that we are going to need quite a few more of the medium skilled labour folks because it's going to require quite a lot of them. So I think maybe we use the top of this to then build on again to have ourselves some nice medium sort of skilled housing, if you like. So I think we should be able to get, yeah, I think we can get that done. So we can get a road, and we can get the road going to just there, because that connects to just there. So that brings it onto sort of the network, if you like, brings it onto the grid. And then we can just go like that with the roads round the edges. So like so, all the way down the sides, a bit like it is down on the other bit, like that, and like that. So that brings that down. So then we should be able to connect the roads in on the sides. Oh, come on, camera work. You can do it. Right. So that to there should connect up. Right. So I'm happy enough with that at the moment. There's junctions in. It's fine. Let's go do the other side. Let's go do that bit just there. And then drag the camera over. And do that bit just there. Right, okay. I like the little street lights. I like the way it looks. It's lovely to look at. Right. And then let's get ourselves some of this stuff here, some residential lots of the medium type, like so. So they can go up there. We might need a few more of those, I suspect. So let's get 4 of those in, like that. And then we've got plenty of room up here. Let's get some more stuff up here. How about we get some medium commercial lots? So 1 of those, 2 of those. Then she'll go for a fancy commercial lot, a big showy off one. And then shall we just get in some fancy residential lots? The top tier residential lots, the showy off ones, like that. Yes, I like that. Let's see what happens with these. Let's try and speed time on. Running low on funds. Oh, you're not joking. Well, let's see what happens when we go bust. Right, I don't think it makes any difference. But there is a thing up here. Where was it? Bonds. There you go. I can have a bond issued to me for much monies. So how about I give us... there you go, 1 million. 1 million monies. So I issue that to me. I believe that's how it works. And when I move time on, I should then get 1 million monies, I think. Issue value to me. Yay, there we go. Right, I've got 1 million monies. I'm going to pay that back a little bit, but it's fine. And look, fancy pants people have moved in. So this building lacks access to a nearby school. Does it? Are you sure? Are you sure it lacks access to a school? There's a school quite nearby. And again, that's missing consumer goods. Not really sure why that's missing consumer goods. We've got a factory. That factory has just indeed upgraded itself as well. So yeah, it says it's missing consumer goods. We're making as many as we can. And why is that not being particularly efficient? Oh, there you go. Right, efficiency has just leapt up. Right, okay. Maybe we needed more workers or whatever. Right, so that's now producing a lot of consumer goods. Yeah, why is that saying it's missing a school? Why can you not get to a school then? Because I would say that school is... The school's just there. It's just there. Unless you can't go to schools that are underneath. That kind of defeats the object. I thought if it was in the bubble, which is the school? There, that's the school. The high school, which is fully functioning. It's functioning absolutely fine. In fact... all our sort of employment stats look pretty good, to be fair. They're looking good. But yeah, that's not That's not working as I would expect. Because, yeah, the high school is just here. And it's just sort of round the corner, just there. So all you have to do is drive round a corner. They're very, very nearby to you, in fact. So I don't know what the problem is there. Unless it's on a different plane. Unless it can't cope with that. But yes, I would have thought that it would be the sphere. When you put that down, the bubble would cover all those sort of needs. But okay, never mind. Right, this thing here, however, these guys are missing processed food. Processed food is one of the things we can have down here, which is lovely. So let's go and put a processed food plant down. So we'll pop one just there. So that can go just there. Yay for processed food. That's a good thing. What are we doing with all these other things then? How about, does the clinic need something? I think the clinic might need something. Where is the clinic? Yes, the clinic needs medicine. So at the moment it's producing a tiny bit of health. Look, it's producing a little bit of health, but it's neutral. So we could make that better. So we can make this better. However, we could also, if we wanted to, put a hospital down. Now, I realise that I'm just absolutely churning through my money, but I'm kind of just showing off all the fancy features and stuff for now. So let's get ourselves a hospital. Yes, there. It looks very good. It's got helipads for some reason. I don't know why, but there we go. It has. So there you go. Lovely. Hospital in. Now, yeah, I was going to say, I bet that does require a lot of highly skilled labour people. And we had, I was going to say, we were quite well provisioned for that. Not now. not now we put that in, but never mind. So it's not running very efficiently. We can sort at least one of these out. Surely we could sort the medicine thing out. So now we can go over to here, I would say, because this is where our factories are. So we've got the concrete factory just there, producing lovely, lovely concrete. So I think we can go to here. Let's make ourselves a medicine plant. Maintaining health is vital to maximise labour availability. Use fungi. These facilities can produce medicine to cover every need. So it's a factory. So let's put it down that end, which is lovely. So now it's going to produce 11 medicine and create 25 pollution, which is not great. It's very expensive to run. It's very expensive to run this thing. Good grief. However, so now it's missing consumables. So it's missing the high-skilled labour people. We'll have to sort that out. But it's also missing fungi. It's missing some fungus. So let's go back over here again. So it's resource and demand, supply and demand, whatever that phrase is. So now we need to go over here and say, right, a fungi farm. There you go. Fungi farm is down and we can go and have a look at it. Little sort of individual sort of almost greenhouses, I suppose. Tilt the camera round, Mr. Penge. Come on, do it properly. So, yeah, there you go. Look, a little sort of mushroom farm and some containers. That's where they go. And there you go. The cars are going and delivering them and all that kind of stuff. That's very lovely. Running a deficit. Yeah, I know. It's fine. Don't worry about the deficit. It's all good. It's part of the plan. It's part of the master plan that I don't have. Right, so now that there... eventually that'll probably sort itself out. I imagine I've only just built the fungi thing, so maybe in time that will sort that out. So yeah, we still don't have enough highly skilled labour, however. So we've not got enough high skilled labour. We've got about the right amount of the other two now. We've got just about the right amount of the other two. This building lacks access to a nearby plaza. Oh, they want a plaza, do they? You lardy-dars. No residential building, 28 more of those workers going in. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, okay. They want a nearby plaza to generate more consumer services. However, you are working at 108 efficiency. That's pretty good, I'd say. I think that's fine. I don't think we need to worry so much. So these are the things down here we can build. There's basic building blocks. Then we can build other things. Cellulose plastic manufacturing. Electronics factory. Now, something did need electronics, didn't it? Carbon pressure plant to transform carbon into diamonds. And then we can make jewellery. So we can sell jewellery as well. However, we could put down an electronics factory. What needed electronics? I swear something needed electronics. Was it the hospital or something like that? Or was it the clinic or the schools or something needed it? Or have I just gone mad? Am I making it up? I know the hospital needs it. Look, there we go. So it needs consumer electronics and medicine. Is the medicine plant not making medicine? Is that not doing its medicine-y thing? Maybe it's not doing it properly. But again, when we are in... Yeah, so we've got, I think maybe that's a little sort of a baguette they will sort of iron out. But yeah, so the fungi is there, but it's seemingly not being transported over to the actual plant. But yes, we do have fungus over here. Yes, it's producing 70 fungi, in fact. So yeah, who knows? Do you know what? Maybe we need to build a warehouse over here. Maybe we need to build a warehouse nearby in order to make it do stuff. Let's just drag a row down there. Maybe it needs one of those. And if a warehouse is in proximity, because the warehouse does have a bubble, look, the warehouse has a little bubble of operation. So maybe if it goes into the bubble, maybe they'll put the fungi in the warehouse, and that means that this thing can get access to fungi. I don't know. I'm kind of making that up a little bit. It's fine. I'm a bit disappointed that no, we've not got much of this going on. Oh, and as I say that, something appears just there. Beautiful. There you go. Look at that. 3,300 down. Yay. Go us. Do you know what? It turns out running cities in the sky is quite hard. Okay, I've worked quite hard to try and bring our deficit down. And now it's only minus 540 because on the sides of our cube, I've put more residences. And I just think it looks brilliant. That there kind of just sums up what this game is all about. You've got kind of stuff on this side and stuff at the, well, as we would say at the bottom. Although it's not really the bottom, it's just this plane. Stuff across that plane and stuff across there. Now, I think this probably has a sci-fi name to it, but there's structures like this. I know there's definitely one in Mass Effect. The Citadel is quite like this, where it's got different sort of, I don't know, gravities on the different planes, because the Citadel kind of does that, doesn't it? And one bit, I think Shepard in Mass Effect walks out onto the Citadel, and he's on one bit, and he can look up, and there's a whole other sort of floor of city above him, kind of facing down upon him, like this, in fact. Exactly like, oh, hang on. Come on, camera, you can do it. Sort of like, not going through the floor, like that. So he looks up in the city above him. And also in, right, spoiler alert, if you've not seen the film Interstellar, might have just inadvertently spoiled it anyway, but in Interstellar, there is a bit like this as well, where there's a sort of city that sort of folds round upon itself. So, yeah, I bet it does have a sci-fi name. I don't know what the sci-fi name is, but I bet there is one. Now, we may have an issue here. Now, if we click on these, we're not producing enough cereal. So we can go and put another cereal farm down. So I don't think we're making enough now, because that thing there is only making so much. Oh, no, that's it. Ah, they filled in. Those things have filled in. Oh, that's quite encouraging. Hang on. How about then? How about we put a few more of those down here? If people are now going there for work, why don't we put a few more of those down? Let's put one of each, shall we? Let's put a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3, or tier 1, 3, and 5, or whatever it is on those industrial buildings. But there, like that. Let's put those down, see if people move into there. And if we go over here, if we fly our way over to this side, I think over there, we should build a bit onto the end of here. I think that might be a good idea. So get some of our concrete that we're now making. We're kind of becoming a bit self-sufficient in concrete. Although I haven't been able to get out our hold of the... Did it need a particular resource? I can't remember now. It needed a thing. It needed something. So, right, drag that sort of round there and down the edge like that. So now I think we can put in another cereal farm. Oh, and a new conglomerate has appeared. So now we've got 3. And we probably see them sort of swapping properties around between them, because that's quite exciting. So that's what they're going to do. So yeah, they've got 24 buildings. They've got 13, and they've got none yet. They've just arrived on the scene. They've got no buildings yet, but they are probably, you know, looking to buy, which is all encouraging. So let's get another cereal farm. Just pop that just there. And that will hopefully, in the long run, start generating enough cereal for those other people over there. If we can, oh, go upwards. There we go. Oh, camera work. Like these guys here. Oh, they're missing fruit. We haven't got a fruit farm. Wait there. Hold on. Let's put fruit down. I think this is the last thing we need. Bosh, let's put that down. Oh, little tiny sort of round greenhouses. Oh, and it looks like huge jars of fruit. It looks like a massive jar of fruit. But there we go. So now fruit is down, which is good. So if we click on that, yeah, there you go. Look. That's out the way. So they're getting fruits. That residential building is generating, yeah, look, some high-skilled labour. You know what? All that looks pretty good. All that looks pretty good. Now, water and electricity are running a bit low, so we can always come back down here, I suppose. We could put them over here if we wanted to, I guess. So let's tilt that round. So can we get water and electricity? Can we get ourselves another nice sort of solar plant or whatever? People are going to be grumpy about being near that. So let's put that there, and let's put a water thingamajigger just there. Hopefully that should top that up, yeah, because the water is coming down a bit. So that should jump back up a bit shortly when this is established. There we go. Splendid, splendid. Yeah, there. Oh, yeah, that's missing consumer electronics as well. Okay. Did we have an electronics plant? I can't remember. No, we haven't. Maybe it's time we built one. Okay, I've added a little bit of land across the end here, and because it has to be adjacent to a road, when you build one of the buildings, it has to be adjacent to a road, but it doesn't necessarily have to be flat against it. So if I build something here, that is technically adjacent to a road, just the road is running 90 degrees to the building, which again just sums this game up perfectly. So let's get an electronics factory down and see what that needs. So currently, there you go, it's producing 3 electronics and a little bit of pollution, which I suppose is fine. Health is not brilliant around here, is it? Oh, and crime's very bad. But and it's missing itself some high-skilled labour, which, you know, it's fine. There's a smaller pool of that than I would like. And it's missing some silicon. Now, I don't know how you go and get silicon. I'm wondering if we need to build these sorts of things. Atmospheric particle filtration plant. So it says there, filter out resources from the atmosphere for use in production. Maybe we get ourselves one of those as well. And we can do exactly the same thing with the road that we did. So we can grab that and just go, yeah, right, there's a road there. So it's a little bit of a bodge, but it's fine. It works. Let's get ourselves one of those atmosphere filtration thingamajigs. Centrifugal particle accelerators are a less pollutant but more pricey way of filtering out resources. Let's have one of them. Price doesn't really matter right now. So we'll get ourselves a centrifugal thingamajigger. Now, what does that do? That is... right. That is getting us carbon. It's producing quite a bit of pollution. Oh, look at this. So it's getting metals, it's getting carbon, it's getting sand, and it's getting silicon. Okay. So there we go. So now that thing has silicon. Oh, that's fantastic. So that is now making some electronics, missing a few staff, but you know what? It's getting on with it. Right, okay. Crime is very bad. I think let's sort that out, shall we? Let's clamp down on crime. Okay, let's get a police department. We can just put it here, right in the middle of the city, and hope that that helps. So boom, there we go. The cops are in town. Behave, everybody, or they'll send you to bed early without any supper. So let's just have a look what they are going to be missing. Another new conglomerate has appeared, the Motel Corporation. Okie doke. The police department is not doing much. It's not got any output at the moment, but it's not missing anything either. It's costing us a little bit of money. It's running very efficiently. Hang on, let's just move time on. Yeah, I think the police department just sits there and it's just helping with that. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to guess, where are the two? Where's the hospital and stuff? That's the hospital, isn't it? Yeah, that's producing quite a lot of nice stuff. Right, I'm going to guess that there might be a little bit of an issue with these, with the medicine and the consumer electronics. Let's go and check the medicine again, just to see if that's started producing anything yet. Whereabouts is that? That's the medicine, isn't it? All the way, hang on, all the way over there. Are you doing anything? Oh no, you're not missing any consumables anymore. That's quite encouraging. So, yeah, that is making medicine. So our bad thing is really the medicine thing. But in terms of job, we've got good power and water. We're okay for jobs. Really, the only downside is our current health thing, and that's it. But you know what? I'm pretty happy with that. I'm very happy with this, the way this city has turned out. And I think let's leave it for now, because this has been more of a sort of showcase thing. I know I'm losing kind of 1,500 monies, but that's because I kind of just wanted to get to all the bits, you know, show off as much as we could, show off building a big thing and, you know, all at different angles, and show off all, you know, how the different buildings work. And I think we've got one of everything, I think, haven't we? Schools. I don't think we've not got a museum, and we've not got a correctional centre and stuff like that. But, you know, we've got a few of the production facilities. We've got one of those centrifugal particle extract things which get stuff out of the air, which is great. We've got the different farms. We've got a sort of medicine plant thing. So, yeah, we've looked at what the game can do. And really, the main thing the game can do is this. It's just brilliant. I love the idea of that. I think it's such a clever idea. And I don't remember seeing it in a game before. I do not remember seeing anything like that we're looking at now in a game before, and I like it. So I think we'll wrap up for now, but I think when this comes out to early access, I think we shall come back. We shall come back and we shall have another little look at it. Maybe we'll make a mini series or do a challenge run or something. I mean, maybe the challenge run for me could be just running a profit. Maybe just to not run in a crippling deficit and actually get some money in. But yeah, I think we'll come back to this. You know what I'm saying? I know we'll come back to this. Most certainly we shall return to this, because I love the concept. I think it's done very, very well. Yeah, I mean, there's still some bits to iron out. And by the time early access, you know, is there, oh, look at all the lights coming on. That was brilliant. By the time it comes into early access, there might be a few more features added and a few bugs sort of less and all that kind of stuff. So I think it'll be a more sort of fleshed out, finished product for us to have a little look at. I did ponder doing a little mini series with it as it is now, but because it's not even in early access, I thought, do you know what? By the time that early access comes out, if I did a series now, it might be quite a different game. So I thought we'll leave it for when it comes out into its first sort of official launch version, which is at the end of April at some point. But yeah, so we'll finish up for now. But I hope you've enjoyed this. Atmocity, I think I think this has got the potential to be something very, very, very good indeed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this little video of Atmocity, then please do leave a like, and also please do subscribe to keep up to date with all the stuff that we get up to in the Geek Cupboard. But for now, thank you very much for joining me in the Geek Cupboard, and I'll see you next time. This sports car is indeed illegal. You clearly couldn't see the sign saying no cars. I have found the place where I'm going to live forever. The Tea and Biscuits Cafe. I want to rename the dog. Let's call it Woofles. Woofles McBark. Behold, the power of the blimp.